Right now, a high-profile murder case in Madison. One of the men charged in connection sentenced today to decades of prison time.
Plus, for a third consecutive year, Madison's Freak Fest is again being canceled.
And later, new video released today from the U.S. government showing the moment a bird brought down a military jet. That's all right now at 10.
I can tell you as sure as the nose on my face that Anissa knows and forever will know that I love her.
An emotional day in court as family members address one of the men convicted of killing an 11-year-old girl. For the second time in just over a week, one of Anissa Scott's killers was sentenced to decades in prison.
While the family saw justice served, they also had to relive the horrors of the 11-year-old's tragic death. Our Andrew Banstra joins us with the story. Andrew?
Perion Carrion was sentenced to 25 years in prison for first-degree reckless homicide of Anissa Scott as party to a crime on Monday. He was also sentenced to an additional 5 years in prison for the attempted first-degree intentional homicide of Christopher Carthens as a party to a crime. The sentences will be served consecutively.
Not having her here has really torn a big part of me right out of my chest. It's something that you really can't explain.
Anissa Scott's family spoke their piece to 21-year-old Perion Carrion, convicted of taking their beloved 11-year-old's life. Despite bringing her killers to justice, the family has a permanent void and more questions than answers.
Was she scared in the moment? Was she in pain? Did she know?
The shooting happened on August 11th, 2020 on East Washington Avenue in Madison. Anissa was shot in the head and taken off life support 2 days later.
I'm tired of being a grieving mom. I just want my baby and my normal life back.
Anissa's mother's boyfriend, Christopher Carthens, was the intended target when 3 teens fired multiple shots at his car, one of which struck and killed Anissa, who was in the passenger seat.
This is about as serious as it gets. Whether you intended to kill her, whether you intended to scare Christopher Carthens, it doesn't really matter because she's gone.
In sentencing, Judge Genovese acknowledged Carrion's difficult upbringing and accountability, while also citing dozens of character witnesses. She added that while those are no excuse for his actions, those are the reasons that Carrion received a lighter sentence than Andre Brown, who was sentenced last week.
Anissa was the same age as Perion's sister. They knew each other. He killed someone, it could have easily been his sister, and he knows that.
Speaking with Scott's family in the courtroom, Carrion acknowledged the irreparable pain he has caused.
I've created a pain to Anissa's family that can never be brought to justice or fixed or changed or anything of that such. The biggest mistake of my life is what I did that day, and I take full accountability for it.
In sentencing, Dane County ADA Daniel Hess said that while unintentional, there is overwhelming evidence that Carrion fired the fatal shot. Carrion's 30-year sentence is lighter than his cohort Andre Brown's, who was sentenced to 35 years last week. A third suspect, Jerry Ward, who pleaded not guilty, has a trial set for early November.
Andrew, thank you. And trial dates have now been set for the DeForest man accused of stalking and planning to kill a former high school classmate. 20-year-old Gabriel Savage faces several charges, including 4 counts of attempted first-degree intentional homicide. Now, online court records show jury selection is scheduled for January 23rd. With his jury trial scheduled for the following 4 days, Savage has pleaded not guilty to all charges.
New tonight, the school district in Janesville says no one was hurt when a school liaison officer's gun accidentally fired today. In an email sent to parents, Superintendent Mark Holzman said the officer was taking their backpack off in their office when a part of it got stuck on the gun, causing a round to be fired into the floor. The gun was in the officer's holster at the time and no one else was in the room. The Madison teenager allegedly behind several bomb threats at Memorial High School, pleading not guilty today in court. Joseph Garrison faces 9 felony charges in connection to the threats. According to a criminal complaint, Garrison admitted to using Bitcoin to pay a third party to make the bomb threats. Today also marks the 4-year anniversary of a shooting at a Middleton software company.
4 people were shot. The gunman was killed by police. Shots were first reported at WTS Paradigm around 10:30 that morning. Police arrived just minutes later and eventually exchanged gunfire with the suspect, who was an employee there. All 4 of the victims, including one who was shot multiple times, survived. We turn things over to weather now. Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti and our certified most accurate forecast. Gary?
Well, Eric, we had sunny skies most of the day today. Now we're starting to see some showers and a couple of isolated thunderstorms move into western Wisconsin. You can see this on Doppler track. The flashes of lightning, for the most part, have been north of La Crosse, but you can see some showers trying to make it into far southwestern Wisconsin. Looks like they're just to the west of Platteville over toward Lancaster and just to the west of Richland Center. Everything moving to the east, and they should be pretty brief or light if they do reach the ground. But you can see on 6-hour future track radar, a more concentrated area of showers and thunderstorms arriving from the north and west up to north of Camp Douglas by about 4 a.m. Those will be moving through mainly the northern and eastern parts of our viewing area overnight into early on Tuesday morning. High temperatures today, 80 degrees in Madison, 81 in Janesville, 83 in Lone Rock. Right now, temperatures are in the upper 50s to around 60, and as the humidity levels increase and clouds move in, these temperatures will probably hold nearly steady. So while it's 61 in Madison, 62 in Mount Horeb, 62 in Deerfield, and 61 in Cross Plains. Look for skies to become mostly cloudy overnight. It'll be mild with some scattered showers and even a few thunderstorms. Low temperature dropping to 61. But tomorrow, once the rain ends, we'll see temperatures shoot up. I'll tell you how warm it'll get in just a few minutes.
Madison's annual Halloween festival, Freak Fest, canceled this year for a 3rd year in a row. Madison Parks officials made the announcement today. It was canceled the past 2 years due to the pandemic, but no specific reason was announced this time around. Campaign 2022 coverage. Now Republican gubernatorial candidate Tim Michels calling on Governor Tony Evers to halt all paroles in the state. However, experts say that's not something that can be done by the governor. Michels has been hitting Evers as being soft on crime, accusing the Democrat in a letter of, quote, sympathizing with and coddling brutal convicted criminals, end quote. A governor spokesperson says it would be illegal to do as Michels wants and called the request an uninformed stunt to score political points by someone who has no regard or appreciation for the laws of our state.
Former Wisconsin Supreme Court Justice Michael Gableman is now representing a man charged with election fraud and identity theft. In Racine County Court today, Gableman said he was temporarily representing Harry Waite in a preliminary hearing. Waite has said he requested the absentee ballots for several other people to prove that the state's voter registration system is vulnerable to fraud. U.S. Senate candidate Mandela Barnes coming under fire today. Last week, he released a list of law enforcement officials who have endorsed him, but today, one of the people on that list says he never made that endorsement. Captain John Siegel, who's also running as a Democrat for La Crosse County Sheriff, says he heard the news last Friday. He says he contacted the campaign who rectified that issue. Vice President Kamala Harris will be making another trip to Wisconsin this week. She'll speak at the Democratic Attorneys General Association Conference on Thursday in Milwaukee. It'll be the 3rd time the vice president visited Milwaukee since taking office. It comes just 2 weeks after President Biden visited on Labor Day.
And in Madison, applications to fill the vacant alderperson position for District 17 are now open. The city says applications for the seat will be accepted until October 3rd. Applicants must live in District 17, which is on the east side. Former Alder Gary Halverson resigned last week. His name had appeared on a leaked list of members who had paid to be a part of the far-right group, the Oath Keepers. If you haven't gotten your updated COVID booster, now's the time, as more appointments are now available in Dane County. Public Health Medicine in Dane County says they're seeing more people interested in getting a COVID booster as we head into the fall. That's why PHMDC extended clinic hours, added weekend availability, and spreading the word about walk-in clinics. Here's a list of clinics this week. The first at Warner Park this Wednesday and Saturday, and then another at Elver Park on Thursday and Friday. You can also get a booster shot at the South Madison PHMDC clinic on Mondays and Saturdays. PHMDC's East Washington Clinic is also open for boosters on Tuesday. Westminster Abbey hosted Queen Elizabeth II's coronation and her marriage to Prince Philip.
And today it was the site of her state funeral, where she was remembered for her life of service to the United Kingdom. CBS's Dania Backus is in London with a recap of an emotional day.
Dignitaries from around the world gathered in London's Westminster Abbey to bid farewell to Queen Elizabeth II at her state funeral. For the royal family, it was an emotional goodbye to their mother, grandmother, and great-grandmother.
And we pray today especially for all her family, grieving as every family at a funeral.
King Charles III left a note on top of his mother's coffin, writing, "In loving and devoted memory." Alongside the kings, sultans, and presidents were retired Major Peter Norton and Color Sergeant Johnson Bahari, winners of the highest British awards for bravery.
It was hard for me to hold it together. Being in uniform, I had to try and be tough, but it had moments where I had to, let it out.
It's estimated the Queen's funeral was watched by about 4 billion people around the world, likely becoming the most watched event in history. Thousands lined the streets to witness the procession, first through London on a carriage and then driven 25 miles to Windsor, England. From there, the Queen's favorite pony and 2 corgis watched as the royal family made the so-called long walk to Windsor Castle and St. George's Chapel for a committal service.
Her calm and dignified presence has given us confidence to face the future as she did.
The crown, orb, and scepter were removed from her coffin, which was then lowered into a vault. At a private family service Monday evening, the Queen was buried next to her late husband, Prince Philip. Danya Backus, CBS News, London.
And the coronation for King Charles III is expected to be next year when he will receive the imperial state crown.
Still ahead tonight, our traveler Mark Kane introduces us to the man who has perfected the art of driver's license photos. Stay with us.
It changes your entire world. I know because I was a victim myself. So to think there are people like Senator Ron Johnson in Washington who'd make it harder. Ron Johnson supported the Supreme Court's decision outlawing abortion in Wisconsin, even for victims of rape and incest, allowing doctors and nurses to be prosecuted. When I think about other victims and what they're going to have to go through because of Ron Johnson, he doesn't share our values. S&P is responsible for the content of this ad.
The light at the end of the tunnel isn't shining so brightly for everyone. Families continue to fight for survival. Some jobs are gone forever. Bills pile up. But please know, you have not been forgotten. Your local Wisconsin energy and emergency rental assistance providers are working together to keep you safely in your home and your heat and power on. Apply now for a hand up.
Okay, so why use Toyota service centers?
Well, you wouldn't use just any carpenter, would you?
This thing working? Oh, I'm never getting out of here. No.
Right.
Toyota Service Centers. Keep your Toyota a Toyota. Toyota. Let's go places.
Lean back and save at the Century House. Right now, buy stressless recliners, sofas, or office chairs and get up to $1,500 credit towards the purchase of more. Or save $400 on stressless signature-based recliners and ottomans and motorized classic power recliners. Don't wait. Take the opportunity to fill your home with stressless comfort for less. Shop the Century House, 3420 University Avenue in Madison.
There's no other place where my story is possible. My mom was a teacher. My dad worked third shift. It was our ticket to the middle class. That's the promise of America I'll fight to protect. While others send our jobs overseas, I'll bring manufacturing back, invest in our own workers, and stock our shelves with American products. And with a middle class tax cut, you'll be able to keep more of what you earn. I know the promise of America, and no one will fight harder to protect it. I'm Mandela Barnes, and I approve this message.
On the Jennifer Hudson Show, I want to know your business. I'm going to ask a few questions, and then I'm going to try to figure out who done did what up in here. Look at you. Any winner, Shirley Ralph is here. Isn't she the best?
On the next Jennifer Hudson Show at 3. You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
Welcome back. More than 2,000 books have been banned in schools across the country in the last school year alone. That's according to the literary organization PEN America. They've identified 50 groups advocating for bans. About 41% of the banned books tell stories of LGBTQ people, and 21% deal directly with racism.
We are seeing new cockpit video when a bird strike caused a military plane to crash last September. Aviation experts say it appears the pilots had no way to prevent this crash. The bird strike caused them to lose the jet's single engine. The two pilots, a Navy instructor and a Marine student, safely ejected. The plane crashed in a Lake Worth, Texas neighborhood, damaging homes and injuring 3 people. Next at 10, if you've ever had your driver's license photo taken at the DMV in Madison, you've probably met him.
Our traveler Mark Kane handles the introductions.
Not a lot of people look forward to a trip to the Department of Motor Vehicles, the paperwork, the signs, the cattle car experience, the waiting. But one employee is trying to do his part to shorten that wait part.
We generally get finished with people within 20 minutes. Within 20 minutes, they'll have their picture taken and be done and walking out the door.
It's that picture-taking part that Michael Zeman has perfected. Michael, a Madison native, has worked at the DMV since 1987. He started in the mailroom, worked phones, and 16 and a half years ago, he became, I guess you could call him, the chief photographer at the department.
1, 2, and 3.
If you've gotten a new driver's license in Madison, chances are that photo in your wallet was taken by Michael, and he's perfected his photography skills over the years.
I generally ask people to look down a little bit and then look up at the camera, and that seems to work out best, is when they look up a little bit at the camera. So that's something that I learned over time, that you get better pictures that way. And tilt your head down just a little, and I'll count to 3.
What Michael's also learned is a little kindness goes a long way, making it personal.
Miss Andrea. Perfect. That's very well done, Miss Andrea. And now we ask you to wait for your number to be announced, and that's D264. And when they call that number, we'll tell you which window to go to, and they'll get you all set up, Miss Andrea. I try to make it as personal as I can, just because I feel like I want to make it as nice an experience as people can possibly have when they come in here. It's important to me, and I think important to all of us.
There are some rules. You can wear glasses if they don't glare, no hats, and unlike some states, smiling is allowed here. Heck, it's encouraged.
Smiling here is not mandatory, but we strongly encourage it. A lot of people come in thinking that they're not allowed to smile. Generally think people have better pictures when they smile, although some people do have really good serious looks as well.
It's estimated that Michael has taken over 500,000 driver's license photos over the past 16 years. And with state driver's license on an 8-year cycle, he's probably taken your picture twice. He says a great part of this job is never knowing who's going to walk through those doors.
I took pictures of Bo Ryan, the great basketball coach here at the University of Wisconsin, and Paul Chris, the great football coach as well. And they both come in multiple times, and they've both been very, very nice.
And sometimes a nosy reporter shows up for a photo. Sign in, please.
That's a good signature. Like you watch that orange sticker. When you're looking in that direction at that sticker, then you're looking at the camera. And I'll count to 3, and you can smile if you'd like. 1, 2, and 3. Awesome. Wow.
Picture perfect. As always.
What do you like most about your job?
I mean, so many people that I never could possibly meet and just without having a job like this. And it's given me that opportunity, and I'm really grateful for it.
And Michael, we're grateful for you. Traveling in Madison, I'm Mark Kane. News 3 Now.
Michael, you are appreciated. All right, Hurricane Fiona unleashed fury on the Dominican Republic today. That was after knocking out power all across Puerto Rico. The system continues to drop rain on the U.S. territory, by the way, with Puerto Rico's governor calling the damage catastrophic. National Guard troops rescued hundreds of people who were stranded after flooding there. The governor warned it could take days just to get the electricity back on. Officials say it's still too early to know the full scope of the damage.
Talk about adding insult to injury. Fiona's arrival comes almost 5 years to the day when Hurricane Maria devastated Puerto Rico. That deadly storm made landfall September 20th, 2017. Thousands of people were killed and massive damage was dealt to the aging electrical grid, which led to widespread outages that stretched on for months.
Boy, and Maria literally sheared off the Doppler radar in San Juan, Puerto Rico. I mean, the big golf ball, I mean, just completely shredded it. So, yeah, Maria brings back bad memories from Puerto Rico, and to have Fiona happen 5 years later, you know, not as much in the way of wind, but a lot of rain. You can see Fiona right now, maximum sustained winds 110 miles per hour with gusts to 130 miles per hour. You can see it's passed over the far western portions of Puerto Rico, but with the counterclockwise winds circulation, the winds out of the south and the storm heading to the northwest, brought in just a ton of rain into much of Puerto Rico. Now the rain moving off. You don't see the rain here because obviously there's no Doppler radars far from land to see the rain, but you can certainly see the impressive cloud shield. And the forecast for Fiona shows it strengthening to a Category 4 hurricane with maximum sustained winds of about 140 miles per hour by 1 p.m. on Wednesday. And then it will head just to the northwest of Bermuda. Still a powerful Category 4 hurricane. And watch what happens as it races to the northeast into the Canadian Maritimes. This is incredible. Category 3 strength as it moves into Newfoundland and eventually weakens and still at hurricane force winds by Saturday 7 p.m. And as it gets that far north, the rain starts to change over to snow on the northwestern side of the storm. Rare, but not unheard of for storms that move up into the Canadian Maritimes. Tonight around here, some light showers moving into western Wisconsin. A flash of lightning every once in a while from the showers moving in from the west. Can't rule out an isolated shower or thunderstorm tonight. It's actually some warmer air aloft that's moving into southern Wisconsin. As we look at 6-hour future track radar, you can see the first batch of showers just kind of fizzles out. But showers and storms developing up around the Twin Cities will head to the east-southeast. It remains to be seen how far south they'll get, but areas north and east of Madison are most likely to get showers and thunderstorms tonight. And tomorrow, there's an outside chance of a strong to severe thunderstorm, a marginal or level 1 risk from the Storm Prediction Center, mainly from Madison to the north and east. Wind and hail would be the main threats, but this might be a situation where a few people get a strong to severe thunderstorm and 80% of us don't get any rain at all. 3 things you need to know in the forecast. Look for a few showers and thunderstorms overnight, humid with highs in the middle 80s for tomorrow, and then high temperatures around 60 for Thursday and Friday as fall begins, so right on schedule there. For tomorrow, look for a high of 84 degrees, more humid. Again, a slight chance for a shower or thunderstorm. Planning your day across Dane County, 84 for the high in Madison, 85 in Mount Vernon, 84 in Sauk City, and then to across the rest of southern Wisconsin, temperatures ranging from around 80 in Wautoma to around 86 degrees in Platteville. Just an outside chance of a shower or thunderstorm. You see this on planning your day. By 8 a.m., the bulk of them are to the east of us. Much of the day will be dry, and then maybe late afternoon we could see a shower or thunderstorm pop up as the humidity kind of drives the showers and storms to our south. 7 to 10 day forecast, again, back to around 60 for Thursday and Friday, up to around 70 on Saturday, maybe a thunderstorm chance Sunday, and then much of next week will be dry with high temperatures between about 63 on the low end to around 70 on the high end.
Gary, thank you. Coming up next in sports, Wisconsin hits the road for Columbus, the Big Ten opener against Ohio State. Well, the Badgers say they're okay being underdogs. That story next.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Coming? The Volkswagen Taos. German engineering everyone can get into. Visit your Volkswagen dealer today to learn more about the 2022 Taos starting at $23,495. Limited inventory available.
Wisconsin is a home of workers. We know what needs to get done, and we do it. Yet, we've been hit hard, some harder than others. Our contact may be limited, but we still can lift each other up. The Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund and your local energy providers are working together to help keep your heat and power on. You may not ask for it, but we want you to know we're here.
Joe Biden on Medicare for All.
It's going to raise taxes on middle-class people.
Medicare for All would double your income taxes, ban employer-provided and union health plans, and bankrupt Medicare for seniors. Mandela Barnes still supports Bernie Sanders' socialist takeover of your health care.
Medicare for All is the easiest way to get us to universal health care.
Mandela Barnes, more liberal than Joe Biden, way too liberal for Wisconsin.
I'm Ron Johnson, and I approve this message.
days just go together, like free delivery from Hy-Vee aisles online with the Hy-Vee Plus Premium membership. For a limited time only, get $50 off your annual membership with promo code Mahomes.
I'm gonna get you! Stop chasing your sister!
Making things better is kind of your thing. There you go, good. But when Medicare has you stumped, it's hard to know how to make it better.
Maybe I can help.
Security Health Plan. Everything you need from a Medicare plan. Everything you expect from a good neighbor.
It's a lovely day to...
Cars built with safety in mind, even for those guys. Visit your Volkswagen dealer today to learn more about the spacious 2022 Atlas. Limited inventory available.
Well, when the Packers head to Tampa Bay next weekend, Tom Brady and the Buccaneers will be without one of the best wide receivers in the NFL. Mike Evans suspended today for one game after this fight with Saints quarterback Marshawn Lattimore. This was during the game yesterday. Evans has been a constant force for Tampa Bay since being drafted out of Texas A&M back in the first round in 2014. Now, Wisconsin closed out the non-conference with a huge win, an easy win over New Mexico State on Saturday at Camp Randall, but now it's about to get a whole lot tougher. Big Ten play begins this coming Saturday, and as sports director Zach Hanley explains, the Badgers have a big-time opportunity against the third-ranked Buckeyes.
The non-conference is over. It's time for Big Ten football.
My emphasis and the team's emphasis is always that the next game's the biggest one.
But conference play doesn't mean a change in approach for the Badgers this week.
Every time you prepare for an opponent, it's really about you. And everyone has that mindset right now, and I think that's what we need.
You know, it doesn't matter who you're facing. Because if guys play with, you know, the right attitude, the right consistency, you know, the right technique, like, you know, we can win any game.
Now, even though the preparation doesn't change going into league play, the magnitude of the games do, especially this week. It's Ohio State, a team Wisconsin hasn't beaten in over a decade. And you don't have to remind the Badgers just how big Saturday will be.
Well, it's obviously a bigger game. I'm not scared to say that. I think this is probably the biggest game of my career so far. So I'm looking forward to it.
And we are looking at it as a big game. We know what it is. We're not going to ignore that. And I mean, really, you know, if as the underdog, you don't have much to lose. You know, we go into this game with everything to gain. So I think that's how we're approaching it.
As the Badgers look for their first win in Columbus since 2004. At the McLean Center, Zach Hanley, News 3 Sports.
Kickoff at the Big Horseshoe in Columbus set for 6:30 Saturday night. Don't forget to tune into this week's Badger Blueprint. Zach and Jim Polzine will break down everything Badgers and Buckeyes Wednesday during News 3 Now at 10. We'll be right back.
Welcome to Oakmont Senior Community in Verona. Active seniors 55 plus will enjoy our new luxury apartments, professionally managed by award-winning Attic Angel Community. Call Brenna today for a tour and reserve your place at Oakmont.
The 2023 Ford F-150 trucks are coming, meaning more ways to haul, tow, go, and do, and with more ways than ever to make it your own. Plus, if you order now, you'll lock in your price and lock in your rate. Do more in a 2023 Ford F-150. Custom order yours today. Lock in 2.9 for $60 and get $500 retail order bonus cash when you order a Ford F-150. Only at your Wisconsin and UP Ford dealers.
Cheers.
Cheers.
To your big promotion.
And to your new house.
I know. What? I guess you had to move fast in this market.
Right? Best thing I did was get a pre-approval from Summit. Once I knew my budget, I only looked at homes I could make a serious offer on.
And how's construction going on your place?
1 month left.
Must be stressful.
Actually, no. I'm working with Summit too, and they've been great about answering all my questions and guiding me along. It's been easy.
Whether you're building or buying a home, Summit Credit Union is here to help.
By some measures, our economy is doing great. We've reached the lowest unemployment in state history. We have a record budget surplus. But there's another side, too. Rising prices for groceries, gas, and medications. Folks, that's a problem. That's why I have a plan to cap prescription drug prices, aggressively prosecute price gouging, and cut taxes by another 10% for working families. It's the right thing to do for Wisconsin and our economy.
Hey, we're here at the local farmers market where Informed Choice Insurance Agency is offering fresh, hand-picked local Medicare. What do you mean when you say shop local for Medicare?
Your local Medicare plans have all of the bells and whistles the national TV ads promise, only better because you're working with local agents who know the doctors, specialists, and the hospital networks inside and out. You're not going to get that talking to a national call center wanting to check your zip code.
Don't be fooled by national TV hype. When it comes to your Medicare options, keep it local with Informed Choice Insurance Agency, and their services are free.
Love that Chevy Blazer. That's our next SUV. Love that Equinox. That's our next SUV.
Nice Trailblazer.
It was love at first sight. What?
The Chevy family of SUVs. Find new options. Find new roads.
Well-qualified buyers can get 1.9% financing or get $1,200 cash allowance on all 2022 Equinox models. Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in Wisconsin.
Welcome to Oakmont Senior Community in Verona. Active seniors 55 plus will enjoy our new luxury apartments, professionally managed by award-winning Attic Angel Community. Call Brenna today for a tour and reserve your place at Oakmont.
Help us collect kids' winter coats during Coats for Kids.
You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
Finally tonight, the Red Planet has caught the eye of NASA's newest space telescope. The James Webb Space Telescope captured these images of Mars, one of the brightest objects in Earth's night sky. They are the telescope's first images of the planet. Scientists say they reveal a unique perspective of the planet, along with new data collected by orbiters, rovers, and other telescopes.
We continue to be amazed.
I know.
It is something.
Well, you have to be able to see Mars through the clouds, though. Tonight we've got some clouds and even a couple of showers and isolated thunderstorms moving in from the west. 6-hour future track radar shows the first batch kind of fizzling out, but up to the north by maybe 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, could start to see some showers and storms north of the Dells.
All right, Gary, thank you, and thank you for joining us for News 3 Now at 10.
Do something good, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.